anybody says, because success breeds more success.
Well, right now, France and Sweden looking for some success in the men's team bronze medal match. We switch to the guys right now here at Belek Beach in Turkey on a Saturday morning. The world record in the men's team competition of the World Championships is 239 points by Team USA. That was in Torino 2 years ago at the World Championships. All right, first out here on the field in Belek is the team from, is that Sweden or is that France?
That is Sweden.
Sweden, excuse me. So Sweden out first. Sweden with an interesting lineup that they'll feature here today. Magnus Carlsen, Glenn Linju, and Morgan Lunden. Those three teamed up for a 4-point win over the Netherlands this week, then a 1-point win over the Russians. The bottom fell out against South Africa, but they are in the bronze medal match, and it's the Swedes' first shot to reach the podium since 2009. There's a good look at Morgan Lunden, who you know very well. You've competed against on several occasions.
Oh, Morgan and I have met toe-to-toe a ton, and to me, Morgan's what you would call the only guy in the compound that has won a trifecta, you could call it. He's won a world outdoor, he's won a world indoor, and he has won the world field. So he holds all three of those titles. So not many, there is no one else that can say they hold them, but we've shot against each other a lot.
So Sweden's got its work cut out for it today as they will take on the team from France, Dominique Genet, Pierre-Julien Deloche, and Sébastien Brasseur. They defeated India and Mexico before losing to the Danes by 25 points. Of course, as you've mentioned already, losing by 25 points this week was no shame.
No. I mean, we were discussing that earlier. We shot 3 zeros and lost to Denmark by 11. And so it's...
You think if those had not been misses, it might have been a little bit different outcome?
Could have been a little different, but, you know, you never can say with what ifs.
There is a good look at Dominique Genet, 7th in the world. Was 4th in Paris, the World Cup finals 2 weeks ago, and has had a great summer. And trying to cap it off, Pierre-Julien Deloche has had a terrific summer as well.
Yeah, and like I said, we talk about two good solid shooters on a team there, and so you got another one that's learning. Sebastian's not new; he's been around a while. He was off the team for a little bit, and to see him back is good. And so it's kind of a solid team, I would say, overall.
Sébastien Brasseur, 27 years old, was ranked 3rd in the world back in 2008, and that's a deuce down the middle for Brasseur. Brings up Pierre-Julien Deloche, ranked 3rd in the world, 31 years old. And by his own account, this has been his best year. Says he's glad he struggled in the early years. He can appreciate it more now that he's getting the success.
Yep. He has had an amazing year. I mean, with a silver medal at the tournament in Nimes, which is the big indoor tournament. Then another silver medal in Colombia at the World Games.
Picked up a gold medal in Wrocław at stage 4 in Poland.
Yep, and now he's got a shot today to win an individual gold and a team bronze here.
So 29 points posted by the team from France, and Sweden starts off with a 7. They'd like a mulligan on that shot.
Yeah, and he does. You can see his head down. He's a little disappointed in himself. And like I said, they've got 2 guys behind him that can carry him and pack him up pretty good.
So there they go. So Linju started off with that 7, but Carlsen gives him a pat on the back, says, pick your head up, pick your chin up.
We got you. We'll help you out.
And now Morgan Lunden. And Morgan Lunden with a 9. Lunden, 43 years old, I should say, and an archer who was ranked at the top of the standings back in 2006. So a lot of experience for the Swedes.
Yeah, and Morgan, like I said, me and him have shot a toe-to-toe a ton. Second at Vegas 1 year, second twice at the World Indoors. You know, he's not afraid of a little challenge and a little bit of adversity.
Genet, one of the most intense archers out here. with his second shot of the third, or first end, I should say. Brings up Brasseur. Pinpoint precision.
20 secondes. Pleine croix. Il est con, c'est.
And now the man who finished 6th at the 2012 Archery World Cup Final in Tokyo and finished 6th in Paris, the World Cup Final 2 weeks ago. Another 10 for France.
Yeah,
Faut lui niquer sa flèche.
he's been solid. It's been a great year for PJ. He's done really well. Now, does he pick it up after this being his first time in here and get it back in, or do the nerves still eat him up?
Yeah. Nice recovery for Glenn Linju, who's going to be turning 50 later this month. I'm sorry, I pull for the older guys sometimes.
Yeah, I remember Dietmar winning his first one when we were in Germany, and he had to be in his 50s. So that is one nice part about our sport.
It's like we were talking about moments ago about Danielle Brown, that the able-bodied can compete against archers who are para-archers, and they can compete on the same stage, on the same level. Same is true. It doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are.
Yeah.
It's all about putting that arrow right in the middle of the target, and they come close right there, but they're going to be trailing by 4 points, 58 to 54, and not exactly the position you want to be in after that opening end.
No, and
if you're Sweden.
Yeah, and the wind is starting to settle down, so it'll be less doors will be open for you to get around.
So a lot to think about for the team from Sweden. Magnus Carlsen, Glenn Linju, and Morgan Lunden. Again, getting here by defeating the Dutch by 4 points, scoring a 1-point win over the Russian Federation, and then losing to South Africa. But you talked again about some of the other distractions, the things that you think about, and what they're thinking about is this is the first chance they've had to reach a podium in 2 years, and so it's been a little bit of a drought, and the Swedes have a little bit of pressure to get there. France, they've been rolling along. They've had a good summer.
Yeah, oh, definitely, and even like Morgan, as much as he has won, we can look at it and say, I can't remember the last time it was that Morgan come away with a medal. It's been a while, and so you know he's pressing himself because he wants it as bad as anybody, because Morgan is a competitor, and just like anybody out here, you know what you want, and it's hard not to push yourself a little harder and cause yourself a little more anxiety.
Linju has really seldom shot on the international stage in the last 7 years. Only 2 other appearances, including the 2009 World Championships in Korea, where he finished 67th. He starts off, though, strong with a 10.
Yeah, and after starting off with a 7 to do that, he's come back with 2 straight 10s. So
now Magnus Carlsen, 38 years old, 17th this week in the individual competition. He shoots a 10.
When he qualified really well, he started off really strong. He was on my target. And during qualifications, he shot amazing. Got down to the last few ends and had a little rough spot. He said he ran into a wall. He didn't know what it was, but, you know.
Boy, Jesse Broadwater, qualifications this week was outstanding.
Yeah,
we'll see him later today in the mixed teams.
Yeah, he started off on that second half. He wasn't as strong on the first, but the second half when the wind picked up, he shot the high score on the field by 4 points, and it was pretty amazing to watch.
What did he have for breakfast that day?
No clue.
Whatever it was.
It worked.
It worked. Dominique Chenet, it's working for him.
Nickel. X à 6 heures.
Now Brasseur, who won a pair of gold medals in Antalya on the World Cup stage back in 2007. Very comfortable shooting here on the Turkish coast.
And has been really solid this afternoon, you know, for first time back in a little while. He's been a good, solid part of that team.
Getting back on the bike and riding it.
Yeah.
Now the French naval officer with another 10. Dix.
And just giving them no door to open. You know, I mean, they've just pretty much kept it shut on the Swedes. They've shot really well, but you're not getting an opening from them 3.
So now back to Glenn Linju for Sweden. And a sweet start for the Swedes. We've got an uphill battle to climb.
And a tough one at that. Like I said, them guys are just, they all 3 seem to be working together really well.
Magnus Carlsen. 2 years ago, took a World Cup team silver medal home from Antalya, as well as a team gold medal from Porridge in Croatia. And Morgan Lunden now.
With his first 10.
Strong shot.
Yeah.
To finish off the second end for the Swedes.
Yeah, he's, like I said, it may have been a little bit of pressing. Wanting that medal so bad that it's kind of caused him a little bit of anxiety and tough to break until you get to
Dominique Genet is just not going to let up.
No, and the French aren't giving him any sort of gap at all.
Now there is a little bit of an opening.
Yeah, and it's the one.
Slight.
Yeah, and Sebastian has been one that had been really solid, but they're going to need a little more of an opening in that to sneak back into this.
France counting on Deloche to come through, and he does with a 9. So after leading by 4, following the first 6 shots of this match, France now with a score of 115 and leading at the midway point over the team from Sweden. Dominique Genet, Pierre-Julien Deloche, and Sebastien Brasseur. The last time that France was on the podium at the World Championships, 1995. It's been a while. They're trying to get back there right now as you look at the score for Sweden.
That is always a tough thing when you want to get back there. It's like, I'm really glad for our guys in the ring that they're in a gold medal match. Guaranteed medal, but it's still, you know, it's in the back of their mind. They're like wanting to win it. I'm sure to be in medal, that's when they shoot against them. So this one's kind of a fair one because both Sweden and France haven't been up there in a while, so it's kind of that balances that out, I guess. So it's going to go back to who mentally is just a little stronger to pull it out.
There's a look at the women's team from France that captured the bronze medal just moments ago here on Belek Beach. Third end about to begin, and Sweden trailing by 3, and he ducked his head as he shot it, but not a bad shot for Glenn Linju.
Looks like a 10. They've got an asterisk by it, but it looks solid on the screen. So
he looked like he was bailing out of there, Rio.
Yeah. Sometimes guys get to the point where they think they're using too much time, so they want to get out quick and they don't follow through good. So that could be part of it.
Carlsen with another 9.
Yeah, they need to get some 10s to have a shot at this. I mean, little door open by France last time, but you got to keep the pressure on to get into there.
Morgan Lunden with no medals thus far in 2013. He will get his first medal today, but as you said, he wants that gold. In fact, sometimes you come away with the feeling that the folks who've won the bronze medal are the happiest.
Yeah, well, the worst part is in the bronze medal match, the person could be the 2-time loser, as we kind of say, because they lose one match to get in there and then lose the other one. So
Genet with the answer for France.
And that's how one of these teams will be when it's all said and done. One will be bummed because they'll have 2 losses from the tournament, the only one on the entire field to have 2 losses.
Back on the line for Sebastien Brasseur. And now here is Deloche, who won a team bronze in Turkey back in June, a team gold medal in Colombia in July, and then won an individual gold medal in Wrocław, defeating Sergio Pagni in the gold medal match there and gaining a lot of confidence from that victory. The French started out the season seemingly a little bit slow, but they have gained speed and momentum as the year has gone on.
Yeah, it's kind of one of them deals you just build confidence, I think. And as you can see, as BJ has gone along and Dominic have gone along, it's just kind of picked up more and more and kind of snowballed and rolled down to to make it a better year for him.
Of course, there's that transition from going indoors to outdoors.
Yeah.
Got to get used to that.
Yeah.
Right now, the Swedes are getting used to their surroundings. Back-to-back tens.
Yeah, and they need this to put a little pressure on the French to maybe get a little open door. But like I said, they've been shooting pretty solid, and so.
So 3 tens. And 169 points after 3 ends for Team Sweden.
And they do it, so it's kind of one of them deals. It's you're like, well, we gave ourselves a shot. Let's see if we get some help.
Along with Rio Wild, I'm Carl Archery. Hope you're enjoying our live coverage from Belek Beach. And there's another 10 for Dominique.
No help.
Donc pas loin de la croix.
It's almost like, here, you show me what you got. Here's my cards. We're looking to think that this ain't going to be really the better hand for you.
Yeah, we'll see you and we'll raise you.
Yeah.
They up the ante with that shot. And Sebastian Brasseur trying to keep the pressure on. Does with a 9.
15 secondes. 9 bas droite.
Which with the kind of lead you have, 9s aren't great, but they're not going to kill you.
And again, he is buffered by Dominique Genet, who leads off, and now the anchor man, Pierre-Julien Deloche, who scores a 9. So, France in good shape right now. The French team trying to pick up its 2nd medal this morning, the women winning the bronze medal, and now the men trying to win a bronze medal as well. For Sweden, a tough spot. 169 points after the first 3 ends. Although they did pick things up there towards the end of that 3rd end.
And they picked a couple. I mean, you're going in with 6 arrows left, and I think you're only down 4. So you're going to have to hope for a little help in the first 3, so you know in the last 3 you got a shot. But it's more possible than it looked a little bit ago.
A sunscreen sort of a Saturday morning here in Belek, Turkey. France with 173 points, up by 4 points. They grabbed a 4-point lead after the first end, led by 3 midway through the match, and now lead by 4 with just 6 more arrows left to be shot. France trying to win its 2nd medal this morning. The women got their work done early. The men trying to follow their lead. And Sweden hoping to pull off a comeback. And Glenn Linju hopes to get it started.
And he does.
On the line.
That you wondered where if he started off so rough with a 7 with the nerves, if getting close to the match, the score's been closer again, if it would open back up. But he seems to be holding okay.
Now Magnus Carlsen, who's been shooting since 2003 on the international stage. Magnus Carlsen, 10. Could be the start of something big.
And like I've always said, this opens up an interesting format where it's, if these 3 could throw 3 10s down there, you know that it puts in your mind going over to the French side going, hey, they're making a run at us.
Well, they've got to give themselves a chance.
Yeah.
They can only do that by shooting 10s.
Yeah.
Oh, very close. Very close.
Yeah, and Morgan's not been real solid this morning. I think he only has 2 10s in the whole match. Which, knowing Morgan, his competitors he's going to be frustrated with that because he could legitimately, with a few more 10s, put him really close.
No doubt about it for Dominique Genet. He just steps up and drills shots.
Yeah, and the nice part is that should give Sebastian a little more confidence and not sweating it so much after they shot 3 10s in a row.
Another 10, Sebastian Brasseur.
And this is an advantage for PJ, I would say, today, because he gets to get out here on this field and fill it out before he goes to his gold medal match. I've always thought what an advantage that is.
Cool, calm, collected. And it results in a 9 that's very close to that line, but just off of it.
Yeah, and it's not going to hurt them. I mean, they got a 3-point lead with 3 arrows left. You're going to have them shoot 3 10s. You're going to have to shoot 3 9s. Not too big a fret for you. You know it's pretty much in the bag, barring any accidents. But and they give you one more here.
Not what Sweden was hoping for.
No, not at all.
So Carlson will try to pick it up. Has to pick it up. His final shot of the match is very close.
But another 9. So you're, you know, I mean, you're talking, it's going to have to be something tremendously bad from the French to give him a shot.
Right now, the Swedes have brought a knife to a gunfight. And that 8 only makes matters worse.
Yeah, and that's a surprising performance from Morgan. I mean, he's a great shooter and has been shooting really well. And like I said, he only had 2 10s in the whole match, and that's not Morgan type.
So here is Dominique Genet, who upset the man sitting next to me, Rio Wild, in Paris in the quarterfinals before losing to Martin Damsbo. He shoots another 10, where Dominique Genet has just been outstanding.
Yeah, he's had a good year, and he's shooting really well.
Almost won the bronze medal at stage 4 in Wrocław. Lost to Alexander Dambayev, whom we shall see later on in today's individual competition. There's another 10 by Brasseur. So it's contagious.
Yeah. And a scoring error wins, so your pressure's not too bad on you right now.
All he needs is a 4, and I think you can expect more from Pierre-Julien Deloche. 3 10s across the board, and high fives.
That's how you like to finish it.
And a big smile on the face of Dominique Genet and Pierre-Julien Deloche, who put an exclamation point on their season. After Paris had to have been the ultimate for them, to be there for the World Cup final, but to come here and do this, it's just icing on the cake.
100%. I mean, this is great, and it's the World Championships, and you'll always remember doing that, but to do it in front of your home crowd is something that not many people get the chance to say they've ever done, and that's, you know, because we go all around the world. There's not very often you're close enough that your family gets to be there and all your friends. So, yeah, it's a different deal, I would say.
You're out there on your own. Sweden with 225 points. So the Swedes, who are trying to get back to the podium for the first time since 2009, will have to go back to the drawing board and look towards 2014. But look at the form by Pierre-Julien Deloche and his teammates. Winning form for France as they score 232 points. Bear in mind the world record, 239 points. So not that far off that world record, especially considering the wind conditions here.